Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting. I'm one of the HCS commentators, content creators, and analysts, and we have another HCS report for you guys, where today we're talking about Native Gaming signing an old trio and maybe a new powerhouse in the HCS. In case you've been sleeping under a rock, at 6:12 p.m. Eastern, Native Gaming announced their new roster after dropping both Native Red and Native White, and you have McWin, APG, and Neptune, the old trio, and also their old coach from that Renegades roster, or should I say Renegades roster from back in the day. And instead of having the original Penguin, who was a part of that roster, by the way, or now going by Dead Zone, instead you have Collect filling in that fourth spot, because obviously Dead Zone went over to Optic Gaming. This Native Gaming roster looks really, really good, especially since we're going back, or going to, Bandit Evo starts going into Season 3. Like we said, Renegades roster, this is the same foursome that did, third place during the final major tournament of Halo 5. Pretty damn good if you ask me, and although Penguin isn't on that roster, I think Collect is a really good pickup for the team, and who can play a similar role to what Penguin did back in that old roster, even going back a little bit earlier in 2018, a fourth place finish. These are all on lands, by the way, another third place finish at New Orleans. So if they were already a top 3, top 4 team in the past, who's saying they couldn't be a top 4, top 3 team now? And obviously Native Game have had a really good run with signing really good players and having ultra talented rosters, but for some reason not being able to hit their stride, not being able to hit their ceiling that we know and that they know they can reach since signing this roster. We go back to, for example, Fort Worth, and you have Native White, who and mind you, I'm not counting Native Red. I'm really focusing on White because that was McWin's team. And you have, a top 12 finish literally 3 times in a row, where we could probably say that Native White could beat Shopify Rebellion at Worlds, could beat Navi as well, could even give Sentinels a really tough time and time again. These are 3 beatable teams here for Native White, and kind of the same thing here. Same teams where you have G1, who Native White definitely could have been that G1 roster, and even going back to SLC, same thing. Every time the top 12 or top 8 had a new team in it, Native White probably could have beaten one of those teams and somehow wasn't able to get it done. Now things are gonna be a little bit different. Now, once again, you have a very talented team, but instead of what we had before, which was, kind of a nice little experiment with, the Latin America's #1 player, Tapping Buds. By the way, I'm a huge fan. I hope he has nothing but an amazing future ahead of him, whether it's here in North America or back home if he wants to go back, because Tapping Buds can do whatever he wants. Amazingly talented. And then you had Suspector coming in for a while for, the tournament before this one. Trey Try was on there, so I'm not really gonna talk about that too much. That was their coach. But either way, you also had Barcode for a little bit, who was amazing. You've had this amazing talented roster, but for some reason just weren't able to put it together. At least with this roster, we know 3 of these players not only have teamed in the past, but also have found success in the past. And chemistry and teamwork is so underrated in this scene. And so many times people say, well, why would that person drop this guy instead of that guy? This guy's better than that guy. I'm like, what you got to realize is sometimes it's literally not about, it's really not about skill, and what a player brings to the table. At this level of gameplay, everyone's freaking good. Everyone can shoot their guns. At this point, I think it's more about what you want your team to look like as far as your version of perfect Halo, and can the players on your team adapt to what you want that to look like? If you have 4 players that just don't gel together, and their version of perfect Halo looks different than each other's, and they're not willing to maybe work on that a little bit, adapt a little bit, the team most likely isn't going to find success. And was that the problem with Native White? I'm not sure. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. At least with this Native Gaming roster, I feel like you lead more on the side of caution and say, hey, look, let's sign a trio that have already found success together, because if they've done it before, why can't they do it again? And you bring in the young and ultra-talented Collect, and you have a dangerous Native roster. Watching this Native Gaming roster is going to be fun, but at the same time, I have a feeling they're going to be able to find success. We talked about We talked about Shopify Rebellion being a legitimate top 4 contender. Well, guess what? There's a new top 4 contender coming in, and if either one of these teams want to make it to the top 4, they'll probably have to go through each other, because SSG's still going to be around, Optic's still going to be around, Phases, and don't forget about what Quadrant and Sentinels are going to look like going into year 3. It's going to be another exciting year, and hope you guys are ready for the ride. That's your HCS report, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you do, let me know down below. If you don't and you're a complete hater and you hate me, also let me down below, because it still feeds into that algorithm, and with that algorithm, it kind of pushes to more people that may enjoy the content. So whether it's good or bad, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe for more content like this, and even more content like tips and tricks and funny shorts and TikToks and whatnot. So yeah, catch you later. Peace out.